Today we're going to be talking all about the crown grill aboard the Enchanted Princess. Let's get started. Hi, AJ here from Byte Size Cruises. Today we're just going to be doing a brief recap of my dinner and review at the Crown Grill, which is of course the steakhouse aboard Princess Cruises, specifically the Enchanted Princess. So the Crown Grill is much like any of the other cruise ship steakhouses. It has steak, of course, but then also has a wide variety of shrimp, your surf and turf, other fishes and chicken. So there is a wide variety to eat there. It is also a little more upscale than some of your other dining establishments, so you do want to dress really nicely. When you come in, you'll be seated and somebody will come over. There's one bar server who's walking around to get you your drinks, whether that be a mocktail, a cocktail, a soda, coffee, all the same person and is separate from your waiter. After that, your waiter can come over and will ask you about if you wanted salts. Crown Grill, one of their things is that they do have different types of salt that you can order, and they will bring them over either in a little pot on some ships. For us, though, it was that there was a little bit put on the plate of each type of salt. And that way you can add some to your meal as you need to. So there are three types of salt options. You have Hawaiian black salt, you have a smoked applewood salt, and a Himalayan pink salt. I did not get to try any of them just because there was beef served at the table and there was some cross-contamination with the salt, so I didn't actually try them, but they looked wonderful, and I do like different types of salts. I really think that's an interesting little addition and kind of something that sets them a little bit apart as far as the steakhouses go. Once you're seated, your drinks are taken, they do bring over bread. The bread is a like cheese type of bread. It was really good, very flavorful, very soft. I could have just eaten that for my dinner. I really liked the bread. Some things to note is we did have a little bit of trouble flagging down. Both our server and the drink server that night. Wasn't a huge deal, but they weren't very attentive. We were on night 6 out of 7, and that was the night that we were in Halifax, and I think we were the last seating because our dinner was after 8 o'clock. So it was a very late seating due to the dining snafus we had earlier in the week. So take that little tidbit with a grain of salt. It did seem like our wait staff was in a hurry to get us moved along, but also strangely a little checked out and hard to flag down at times. But overall, it was a very lovely experience. So, the food. I had the lobster crab cake, the seafood bisque, and the Chilean sea bass. All of them were delicious. The bisque I didn't finish. It was very rich and salty. Wasn't entirely my thing. I do prefer a cream-based bisque, and this was more brothy. I think there was a little bit of cream in it, but it was very broth heavy. Not exactly what I was looking for. The crab cake was delicious. It was probably my favorite part of the not dessert stuff. So I did really enjoy that. So my Chilean sea bass also had a king prawn on it, and there were leeks involved. We all know how much I love leeks, weirdly. So there was a leek and mushroom ragu, I think is how it said. And that was delicious. I very much enjoyed this meal. And then also, you know, everyone else at the table had no complaints about their food. It was good. And then for dessert, we all had the creme brulee. The creme brulee, after having the cheesecake at O'Malley's and the 360 experience, it was a lot to live up to. The creme brulee was okay. It was not very bruleed. It was a little like under torched on the top, which was a little disappointing, but it was still good. Yeah, it was what it was. Out of all of the specialty dining meals that we did, I don't know that I would use a specialty dining credit on Crown Grill again. However, I do know that both Peter and Melinda have done Crown Grill before and really enjoyed it. So this is hard to say whether it just wasn't my thing or if this was not a great Crown Grill experience. I was not super impressed with anything. Like it was good, but it wasn't like, I didn't come out of it being like, I'm really glad I spent my money there. It was good. It was what it was. It was probably like a 7 out of 10 for me. If somebody else wants to do it, I'm not going to say no, but it's not going to be my first pick to go to. The kind of things that dipped it in points was it was really hard, like I said earlier, to get a hold of the servers at times and to communicate with them. And then both the bisque and the creme brulee, I wasn't super impressed with. And the main entree wasn't enough to kind of make up for that aspect. I did really love the crab cake. The crab cake was amazing. And I really liked the leek dish, just further proving that apparently I really like leeks. And apparently they only sell them at steakhouses on board the ships, and I don't understand why leeks aren't on more menus. I'm going to start a campaign to bring out more leeks into menus, especially those of the creamed variety. So yeah, there isn't much else to say about this experience. As far as the restaurants go, it was very, it was a nice atmosphere. I really liked the way that the table was set up. They did come along and do the scrape the table thing, which I love, and that only seems to happen at the fancier restaurants. I just think it's really cool to watch them get all the crumbs off with the little, it looks like a straight razor. I don't know why I'm fascinated with that. The ambiance was nice. It's a really beautiful restaurant. Overall, I think that the layout is well designed, and it makes you feel, even when you're sitting at a table, like you do have privacy with just how everything is set up. So from that aspect, I do really appreciate that. It just wasn't my favorite, wasn't my least favorite. It is hard to live up to anything after an experience like 360 on the one end and O'Malley's being such a strong contender at the casual dining level. I would have happily gone to O'Malley's again instead of doing the Crown Grill in the future. However, if you like steakhouses, apparently the steak was very well done and was delicious. And this might be your thing. Might just not be mine. And I would actually love to hear from you. Have you been to the Crown Grill? If so, what did you think? To put it in comparison with Chops and Cagney's, Cagney's, now that they've gotten rid of the creamed leeks, would probably fall below this. This and Chops were even. So kind of keep that in mind that I'm also not a steakhouse person. So that is definitely coloring this review a little bit. I think Cagney's with the creamed leeks probably got an 8 for me. And then Chops probably would get a 6 for me. I was not a huge fan of Chops. So this kind of falls in between the two on the cruise ship steakhouse scale of places that I've been so far. And yeah, that's really it. If you found this video useful or found any of the videos on our channel useful, I would ask that you please like and subscribe. It really does help us to continue to bring you quality content. And I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.